Okay, this is a short little video showing how to make a DVD with multi-tracks on DVD Studio Pro. So I'm going to go down below here. There's a little tiny video, very small video. I'm going to pop it in to, I have Compressor, Apple Compressor open. I'm going to drop it into Apple Compressor. And in the Apple settings, if you flip down the Apple settings, and you'll see DVD settings, and you pick the amount of time that you need, best or fast quality. Let's just use fast quality for now and make it small. It's definitely under 90 minutes. It's only a few seconds long, this video. So I'm going to pick that quality. I already have it preset in the preferences to default setting. Well, right now is none. Sometimes I leave it on something. But default destination is where the source is. So it'll just go right back to where it was originally. We'll see that in a moment. I'm going to submit this. Submit. We see over here, it's starting to render. If you have it set so the batch monitor will come up off the screen right now, but I'll drag it in. There's the batch monitor, which is a separate program showing us the progress. Anyway, it was done, as you see below here. Here it is. It didn't make any audio because we don't have audio on this clip. So I should have probably gotten a clip with audio. But anyway, we're going to go with it. We could rename this if we want. We don't have to. Very often I leave it the name. But it's an M2V, which is an MPEG-2 clip, which is what a DVD would have to be. Okay, so we can hide Compressor or quit it or whatever. And here's DVD Studio Pro. I made a smaller version of it so that it'll fit on the screen, but it's not quite fitting. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay, maybe that'll fit in. This is the advanced setting. I don't know even how to use it with less than the advanced setting, so you do want the advanced. Like I said, I'm shrinking it so it fits on this little capture screen. So there's a couple of things I'll show you. First off, if we bring this in to assets, there we go. If we drag it over to a track, there we go. If there was audio, we drag audio and it come down over here. And basically, we now have a track. If we wanted to make this the DVD, we could get rid of this. We could just highlight this and delete it. We can right-click. I'm right-clicking right now. Make this a first play. And that's it. And you can get rid of this one altogether. And when you burn this, this will just pop in the DVD and it'll automatically play this track. And that's the simplest way of making a straightforward one-track DVD. That's all there is to it. And then you could build it, which is right up here, which just creates a folder on your hard drive, which then later you can save to a DVD. I actually tend to do things that way. I tend to build it first, and then I use Toast to burn my disks, which just is the way I like doing it. But you could also build in Format, which will create a folder and ask you for a drive, and you do it that way. So anyway, there we go. That's the simplest way. The other way is to, I'm going to go right-click, make this first play. Excuse me. And we're going to make an actual menu. If I double-click this, the menu comes up here. There is nothing there right now. If I wanted to make, usually I bring in a Photoshop file, which I don't have one prepared right now, but I could even use this as a background, set background. See, is that going to work? If we simulate this, yeah, it's simulating and it's using the whole video, which that's the video. But that could be potentially a video that we use. It's looping right now. If we wanted to use a still, we could use a still from it. Maybe find a frame. And when we simulate, no, it's not still because it's. I have to move that over. You're not seeing that. It was still set to there, so I'm just dragging it over there. I don't usually do this. It's actually the first time I'm doing this, just to show you how this works. But there you go. That would be a still frame if we want to do it that way. Another way would be to drag in any of these, and then, of course, then it becomes a much more fancy menu. I'm just showing you how to do it without doing it this way, because this is pretty obvious. I also will go into styles and buttons. Most of these buttons don't really work for me, but if you go down somewhere over here, I made a let's see. Okay, let's just try this one. I think it might have been modified a little bit, but here's create a button right there, and I can make a button. The reason I use this one, and then you can change the font by going up to fonts and text, and you can do anything you want to it and change the color and all that. But the reason I like this is because it has an outline. So later, when we click on this, if we simulate this, you'll see that my cursor changes not when I hit the text, but when I actually hit the box that was created, this box, which is kind of nice because then it's easier for people on a computer to hit the button without having to be exact about it. Some of the other buttons that they have aren't that way, and it's harder for people on a computer to hit it. If you're not on a computer and you're on a DVD player, of course you would use the remote buttons to scroll through, on a clicker. And the box wouldn't have anything to do with it. But, it's good for it to work on both. So that's why I use a style that's like that. Anyway, so we have a button. Let's call this, movie 1. And, whoops, don't have to hit return again. Okay, and we want to take that movie and we want to link it to this track. So basically we want this menu to link to this track. So this is track 1. We could name it something else, but track 1 is fine. If we want, we could go over here and name it, let's say, movie 1. It doesn't really matter what the name is. And we can set a link. So how we set a link is not graphical, unfortunately, but we go highlight it. It brings up the contextual menu here for buttons. I'll bring that in a little bit just so you can see it more. And you set the target. The target's going to be a track. And it's going to be, well, that's kind of coming off our screen there. Here, let me bring that in. Track, movie 1, because we called it that. And we could just do the whole track or chapter 1. It's really the same, chapter 1 and track 1. There is no other chapters. We didn't set any other markers. But here, I'll just do that. And you see right up here on the left-hand side, it now has a link. So basically, if I did want to set another chapter marker, of course, this is only 3 seconds long. It's kind of silly, but if we did, I could just go over here, click on the upper bar here, and it creates, and I can move these around, and there would be another chapter. So if I went back to my menu, double-click on there, bring that up, right now it's going to movie. But if I went there, I could have it go, whoops, once again, let's bring this in. Let's go to target, movie, tracks, movie, and then we could do chapter 2. So it would jump to this second purple marker. So that's an option if you wanted. That's how you would do that. Usually you just go to the menu. Go to the root track and that's it, because that's all you really need. So that's basically it. If we simulate this, basically this comes up when you pop the DVD in. We click on this, and it plays the movie. And then in this case, nothing happens. It just stays there. If we wanted to jump back to the menu again, what we would do is on this right here, we just click anywhere on here, brings up this new other contextual menu. See, it changes when I change to different things. Click, click, click. Okay. So in this case, what we'd want to do is what's called an end jump, which is right here. Right now it's not set. If we want, we could have it jump back to the menu. Let's bring that in again. Jump back to the menu. Or we can send it to another track right from here. That's how it works. But in this case, we want to jump back to the menu. We could even say, if there's multiple buttons, which button is going to be highlighted afterwards. So we can kind of push the user into a certain navigation. So it'll go from button 1 to button 2 to button 3 if we preset that. But right now, we're just going to go back to the menu, and it'll just be the default button, which, of course, will be 1. Let's simulate that again. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, click on that. It plays, and it defaults, boom, right back to the beginning menu, which in this case looks a little similar. But okay, so that's the basics of making a two-way. You can see over on the left here, a two-way jump. If we want to make another track, let's just double-click here. Not double-click, I'm sorry. Right-click, add a track, And there we go. We've got another track. Since I don't have another clip, I'm just going to use the same clip for now. So it's a little confusing. We're calling this movie 1. This is now called track 1 because of that. Let's call it movie 2 or track 2. Okay, movie 2. So now we can see over here, we can hop between them. And I'm going to put this there. And basically the same thing. We're just dragging a button. Let's call it Go to Movie 2, just so it looks a little different. And same exact things. Target, track, whoops. Once again, so you guys can see it. Okay, track, movie. See, now there's 2 of them because there's 2 made. Track, and there you go. So now it's linked. If we look on the left, the graphical interface, it's linked over here. Once again, on movie 2, we could set an end jump. Back to the menu. It's off your screen, but you get the idea. And there we go. So now it's set. And if we go simulate, well, we won't be able to see the difference here. But you see, also notice when we highlight it, the highlight is the white. If we don't like those colors, I'll show you how to change those colors. But go to movie 2. We can't see the difference, but that is the second movie. It's the second track. And it's going to jump back to the menu. So there you go. That's the basics of that. If we do want to change this color, well, first off, we'd have to go change the color of the show colors, which I'll drag that back in. Let's make that, I don't know, let's just give it a different color just so you can see that. Okay, if we made that red, let's say, or here, I'm going to pick a color here so it can be consistent. Let's make it that color, okay. And we can do that to the other one as well. We can go here and make that the same color. Okay, we can get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. And we can make the highlight color something else. Let's make the highlight color yellow. And it's global. So I think it's global. Let's see. Yeah, it's global. So once you set it once, it's set. That's the simple way of doing colors. There's more advanced ways and things like that, but this is a simple tutorial. So that's the basics of getting something going in DVD Studio, whatever this is. Yeah, DVD Studio Pro. The last version of DVD Studio Pro, according to Apple. So if we were going to finish this off, if I was going to make this into a DVD, I'd build it. In my case, I'd like to build it. I'm going to just go to my Making a DVD folder here. And I'm going to say choose it. And there we go. So right now what it created, just so you can see, it created an audio TS folder and a video TS folder. Let's just put those, I'm going to make a little thing. It's called DVD. Let's just call it. That's the name of our DVD. And let's put these in there. Otherwise, I would have created a folder in advance, but I didn't do that. The PAR is just not needed at all. It's just information that you're not going to need. So we could even delete it. I'm going to do Apple delete to throw it in the trash. There we go. And inside this is what is in a DVD. When you make a DVD, what a DVD is these 2 folders. Now, interesting thing is people look at the audio folder and they flip it down. They say, oh my God, nothing's in there. I don't have my audio track. Well, that's okay. The original design of DVDs was that they thought that they were going to, CDs were around. They thought that we're on DVDs, people are going to listen to audio, and there's going to be an audio folder, and that's going to be for music. And it was never really used by too many people, and it is blank. It actually, you could get away probably with it not even being there, and most DVD players will be fine, but some older DVD players are expecting it to be there, and they won't run properly if you don't have it there. So just leave it there and keep it there, and that's fine. Also, technically, this thing called Layout and this other thing called Lay are created by DVD Studio Pro, and you do not need those files. And actually, a rare DVD player, once in a while, will not like having those files there. It's technically not to spec, and when I make a final master DVD for people, if it's not a quick DVD, but it's like something that's really going out for pressing or something, I tend to take both of those things that say Lay, and I delete those as well. Render data as well. It doesn't have to be in there. So anyway, basically, though, what you do is you take this DVD. I'm not going to show you this next part, but you could use either DVD Studio Pro or, like I do, I use Toast, and then burn this. Make sure that if you're burning it not as a data DVD, but make sure it's a DVD-ROM, because that's what a proper playable DVD is when you put it on players. Once again, modern players will tend to read it even if you've messed that up and make it a DVD data DVD, but on some older DVD players or some simpler ones, it only will take the DVD-ROM. So I've run into some problems with making the wrong one for people. And that should summarize it. Okay, bye-bye.